I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Yeah, back. Yes, folks, the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast is back. We're better than ever, and we are here for the predictions of AEW Full Gear 2023, folks. I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highlands, and one damn man's man, if I do say so myself. You can, of course, find me right here at Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify, and also KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. That's KOE Nation. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter, folks. Join it. It's one of the fastest growing YouTube channels in all God's sundry. So, folks, we are here to get into Full Gear. Let's get right into it, folks. Let's shift gears all the way to top road gear here, folks. So we've got a couple of interesting matches for Full Gear. We've got the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship for the 0 Hour pre-show, MJF and Samoa Joe versus The Guns. We also have Claudio Castagnoli versus Buddy Matthews. That'll be a really good match. The Ring of Honor World Championship, Eddie Kingston versus Jay Lethal. So let's get into the pre-show first here, folks. Tony sent me his picks just so there would be no confusion. For MJF and mystery opponent until a little while ago, it is Tony's got MJF. I've got MJF. The Guns, they have no chance here. It's just not going to happen. In terms of Buddy Matthews versus Claudio Castagnoli, we both got Claudio because come on, man. Claudio really should be in the next match here. Ring of Honor Championship match, Eddie Kingston versus Jay Lethal. If they were to swap out Eddie Kingston with Claudio, that's who I would pick, but they don't. And Eddie Kingston, I don't know what the appeal is. I don't know why people freak out for this Eddie Kingston guy. He's decent on the mic. I haven't seen anything in the ring that merits me even giving a golf clap. So, and he also sold the No Explosion. So he's going to have to wear that for the rest of his career. So we both have Jay Lethal, and that is the pre-show. Now let's get into the show proper, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got a couple of interesting matches here. Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Edge Copeland, winky face, versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. We've also got Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the Bucks. We've got a Texas death match of Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Page. The International Championship match, the one I'm actually looking forward to the most of this pay-per-view, Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. That's going to be spectacular. The AEW TBS Championship, Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart versus Sky Blue. The AEW Women's Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm. The AEW World Tag Team Championship match, Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus La Fashion, versus FTR versus Malachi Black and Brody King. And then the main event, MJF versus Jay White. That's going to be a pretty good match. If they really are both on point tonight, that could be match of the year. So let's get into Tony and I's predictions for this particular card. So for the three-way dance for the TBS Championship match, Tony has Sky Blue. I'm going to go with Chris Statlander on this one for the retain. So we got a difference there. For whatever reason, they're sticking with Chris Statlander for God knows what reason. Okay, so in the match of Team Christian versus Team Edge and Sting, Tony's got Edge and Sting, and I suppose Darby Allin too. Yeah, obviously. That's what's going to happen. Edge and Sting. Edge and Sting are going to win. This is Edge's first match back. They're going to give him a W. Then the Fatal 4-Way for the Tag Team Championship Cluster Frack. Looks like here Tony's got, let's see, what team does Tony have here? Of this Cluster Frack. Looks like he's got La Fashion I'm not quite sure. I'll have to check back on that. He's got it marked here, but the picture's so small, I don't know who any of these fucking people. Okay, no, he's got Ricky Starks and Big Bill. There we go. That's my bad. I got FTR. I think FTR is going to take the W on this. It's about fucking time that they start getting some momentum behind them. So I got FTR. Now for the tag team match between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the Bucks, I'm going Bucks. I'm going Bucks, T. You know it's the right way. And then Tony's got Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. So we got another differential there. In terms of the International Championship, Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, will be taking on Jon Moxley, and I got freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy for the W. Tony's got Jon Moxley for the W. The fool. In terms of the AEW Women's World Championship, we both got Toni Storm. Come on. Hikaru Shida, she's a good wrestler, but she's just not very famous here stateside. And then we've got the Texas Death Match. Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland. Swerve, I'm sorry, you got no chance in this match. It's going to be Hangman Page. That's who me and Tony both have. And now we move on to MJF versus Jay White. Obviously, it's going to be the MJF-ery to take the W, but Jay White's going to give a hell of an effort here. It's going to be one of the efforts of his career. So there are the predictions we have. Where Tony and I differ are the TBS Championship match, the ladder match for the Tag Team Championship, Jericho and Omega versus the Bucks, Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. Those are the 4 matches where we differential, and that is where the championship for the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast will be decided. So, folks, that is the preview and prediction to AEW Full Gear. Folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us here at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify. And be sure to join us right back here for coverage of AEW Full Gear, folks. I can't wait for all of you to make it back here to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Happy, healthy,